The world is mean. You're a big old meanie, a big old giant rock hurtling through space. That is a meanie. Hello there, my name is Comedian, unfortunately, and this is a 0 o'clock reaction. This was actually the second most popular, most voted on thing for my Patreon Thursdays thing, but it was one of those dramatic things, a dramatic dash to the finish where it literally lost by one vote. That keeps happening on my Patreon. I feel like my patrons love drama, which is probably why they're on my Patreon, because I'm so dramatic. So if you love drama and you love voting on stuff, do go and check out my Patreon. I have Patreon Thursdays every single week. So this was technically the runner-up, the reject for this week's Patreon Thursdays, but I've had so many requests for this over the year. I've been doing this, that I thought it was finally time, you know, it just felt too cruel for it to not get a chance. I'm sure it's going to be a good one because lots of people have asked me to react to it, and you'd think they wouldn't do that if it was a smelly, steaming pile of turds, wouldn't you? That's just logical. So yes, finally, this is going to be the 0 o'clock reaction, and if you're excited for it, make sure you have subscribed to my channel. It's the best way to show excitement. I know a lot of you out there are socially awkward like me, and scientifically, they've done studies. The best way of showing some excitement is to subscribe specifically to the ComedianReacts channel. That's just science. I can't argue with science, unlike some weirdos these days. So yeah, make sure you have subscribed. Check out my Patreon if you enjoy more BTS content, never enough BTS content, and more importantly, strap yourself in for whatever's about to happen. Oh, sort of dreamy, nostalgic, almost slightly psychedelic intro. It looks like we might have another mental health banger on our hands, which is good. My mental health has been wishy-washy the past few days. Not the kind of wishy-washying you might do when you just got a new car and you feel like making it look good for the peoples. No, the kind of wishy-washying where your brain just decides not to function properly upon waking up, as if it never really got to sleep in the first place. As if you went to sleep for 8 hours and your brain just stayed awake. That happens to me sometimes, it feels like. But yeah, this looks good. Oh, this is hard hitting and brutal and real. Whew, okay. Yeah, okay, so it seems busy and competitive, my feet don't move forward. I mean, sometimes it feels like I have to make myself start recording. Like, I have to slap myself and yell at myself. It's like I have to hire myself, impersonating myself, to stand over my shoulder and yell, "Do it!" As if I'm Shia LaBeouf revealing his true inner self. And I love how they've expressed this here because it's so true. Like, when you feel like that, you're so painfully aware that the rest of the world is just getting on with its day. You know what I mean? The world is moving on without you. And when you feel like you're caught in a rat race, or you feel like, oh, I have to make this many videos this week, I have to do an essay this week, I have to hand in this assignment this week, I have to finish my shift today, or I have to go to work today, or whatever it is, whatever your place in the world is, it's really, really tough. I mean, part of the whole, you know, society is great and everything, but one of the problems with it is the element of competition it drives into us, and that doesn't have to be the default. One would argue that's a, you know, a societal side effect of, you know, of capitalism and a giant popularity contest and a race to the top or a race to the bottom sometimes. But it's tough. It's tough on a day where you don't feel well, and society, or the society we've kind of set up, doesn't really give you the freedom to just accept that, whether it be because you can't take sick days, you can't take a mental health day, or you can't afford a day off work because you've got to make rent or whatever it is. It's just brutal. It's so tough knowing that even on days when your brain doesn't want to play ball, you still have to play ball. The world is mean. You're a big old meanie, a big old giant rock hurtling through space. That is a meanie. So look at this. Even though I ran so hard, why me? I lie down in my bed and I wonder, was it my fault? Yeah. I think that's a huge problem is when you have these kind of days, you have these kind of experiences, we're taught to blame ourselves. We're not really taught to give ourselves allowance to be kind to ourselves. Despite all the nice feedback I've had recently for talking about my mental health and all the nice things people say to me, I don't really, I'll still have days where I feel bad, and my logic is still, well, I should still work. It just feels like too privileged to kind of stop. And with the way YouTube just feels like this endless race that you can never escape, kind of. It's an intense platform to be on. If you're thinking about being a content creator, it's very rewarding, but also very challenging. And some days, I feel like being a content creator or anything in social media is almost like the kind of job world translation of bipolar disorder, because it really is, quite sometimes all too brief, but quite dizzying highs or exciting highs and then bitter lows, and it's very rarely in the middle. It's usually like, yay, my channel's doing well, or oh, it's not doing how I'd like to. And your definition of well will always keep increasing, of course, because it's not like you don't reach 1,000 subscribers and YouTube says, well done, you have won YouTube. That's not how it works. So, yeah. Yeah, and you look at the clock and you're like, it's 12 o'clock and I didn't even play Lego City Undercover today. I wanted to play Lego and pretend I was 4 again. Wow, these lyrics are good. It's interesting because here we've gone between, it kind of sounds like a positive, but it's also a negative. Like, I have that thought, well, nothing was really different today, but at least today's over. But that's not good. That just means time's ticking away without really feeling like you've made any progress. Oh, I like that. The world holds its breath at 0 o'clock. I love that. It's so true. Woo. Oh, this beat is great. I love this song. But I love that sentiment, though. The world holds its breath at 0 o'clock. And it's interesting because obviously time is a man-made concept, just like the years are, the calendars are. We get all hyped. We're like, Happy New Year! And the squirrels and birds around us are like, what on earth are you guys talking about? Who cares? It's just another second in time. Or, we're celebrating Happy New Year in the West, and then in some other countries, then New Year's in like April or something crazy like that. So it's all just, individual and relative, man. Time is relative, man. I think it was a scientist that said that. God knows which one. They're all weirdos, but yeah. It is a fascinating concept. There is something interesting about the clock hitting midnight and what that means to us. I love how upbeat this thing is. It's quite positive, isn't it? It's quite uplifting, the idea that everything's okay at 0 o'clock, or like it's a new day again. But sometimes that can almost be a melancholy thing. It's like, the day hits and you realize, oh, what have I done today? Or the day hits, a new day hits, and you realize, I'm still awake. I should probably be in bed. This song is great because we go straight from the upbeat hope of the new day back into kind of melancholy again. My tempo starts to slip. I can't make the face that should be so easy. I forget lyrics, memory going. I love this. Which is why it's so good that BTS are making their songs, because now I'd say there's more things that are like the way I feel. But this sentiment, there's not a single thing that's like the way I feel. Like, you start to think that no one else feels the way you do, or that you're kind of, like feeling melancholy, feeling depressed, or whatever it is, feeling negative. It's a very isolating experience. Yeah, and even if you say all these positive things to yourself, these positive accolades or whatever it is, it's a word that's like accolades, but I can't think of right now. That's like, it's like self-calming, Even if you say these things that are designed to calm yourself down, that are supposed to be upbeat, it's hard believing them. Oof. Just my echo, I like that. This is why they need to make all the other horrible stuff Google have done. They still haven't given us, like real life augmented reality that inserts into a chip in your brain. Like, why is all this nasty stuff happening in the world? And there's no mad scientists out there who are doing AR on that scale yet. What I'm saying is, I want to be able to hear a BTS song in my head, headphones, me going mad a bit, or just in the car, or whatever, and then have the lyrics played in my brain at the same time, because, these lyrics are so good. that the whole world holds its breath. Of course, if you want to cynically cut into that, Australia and America are holding their breath at different times, but the sentiment is what counts. Even this metaphor, the day is freshly fallen snow. The new day is freshly fallen snow, because the antithesis of that is that at the end of the day, the freshly fallen snow is now covered in dog piss. So yeah. At least I assume it's dog piss. I've never actually thought about that, but I hope that whenever I've seen yellow spots in snow, it's been just normal canine piss and not human piss. I like that. It's very wholesome. I'll smile a little more for me. Not in like a selfish way, but just like wholesome, self-supporting way. Ooh, I don't know about that, lads. When this song's over, I'm going to have a little lie down. I hope the song, no song it begins when this one ends. Although knowing YouTube, it might. Be very interesting to see if this song ends on a melancholy note or on a happy note of the chorus. Just pat myself, that'll fix everything, according to these boys. And you're gonna be happy. Okay, so it did end on a positive note. I like that. That's cool. Interesting though, because for me, I think about stuff as like, it's usually sleep that fixes everything, which is why when sleep stops being essential or when it stops coming easily to you, that's why that, like, for me, sleep is my 0 o'clock. And I know exactly what they're saying, but I have no expectations of the day getting better once midnight's hit. Once midnight's hit and I force myself to bed and I wake up, that's when I hope that whatever I felt yesterday will be washed away by whatever I felt during the night. But yeah, that was a really, really great song. Fantastic. Some more spot on, top heavy, as in heavy on the top of my soul lyrics spoke to me in ways that I like and ways that, I didn't know I wanted to feel right now. But it also speaks to the beauty of time, as much as we humans measure time in ways that perhaps are unnecessary. Time ultimately does wash away most sins, it washes away most hurts or whatever. Even just in the long term, it's like, well, if I feel miserable right now, 1,000 years from now, dinosaurs will probably rule the earth again, and then there'll be a miserable dinosaur, on Earth in place of where I am. So, things will have moved on, everything will be fine. But yeah, I really, really like that, guys. I'm glad I finally got to do that one. That was very good. Thank you for recommending that. I hope you enjoyed the reaction, and if you did, make sure you do take some time to go and click that subscribe button and help support my channel. And if you want to support me even more, or if you just want to see me react to some Run BTS, Bon Voyage reactions and blow off some steam, some little upbeat reactions, then Run BTS and all that kind of stuff is in my Patreon, which is in the description. And if you want to support yourselves and listen to this sentiment, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. And remember, if you like this reaction to 0 o'clock, then click the subscribe button right now. Full stop.